screen?
Yes. I'm able to see only the screen. Yes.
Only the slide. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the book that Professor Bala has written, and it's available on Amazon. There is an copy also, and if you require, we can give you a direct link. Sir, do you have the direct link? I can paste it in the chat box for students.
Hey, Sukrat, sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if we are live at all on YouTube. Oh, yes. Sorry. Go ahead. We are. Right. Okay. So yeah, so these are the places where you can find the book and we prescribe it. Just to add to what Sukrat already said, one is that we, of course, refer to the video content and the transcripts are there, but we also, Sham and Sukrat and we decided to have something from the book as well. So you will with certainty find some things which are there in the textbook that are part of the exams, but however they are not part of the video itself. So there is I wouldn't say it's a lot of content from the textbook, but there are some portions from there. Sorry. Oh, back to you, Suprat.
No, sir, thank you. That helped. So that is it. The Sham has shared the links of my professors LinkedIn profile in case you wish to connect with us at apart from this meeting. He's also provided the links to how to access this book from various websites. Lakshman, is my voice not clear? Still not clear?
Yes, I agree with Lakshman that it's a bit I don't know what to call it, digitalized your voice.
Okay, I'll just change my position then.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute, sir.
Thank you for letting us know. Like Sukrat said, the main aim of this session is to get those exam butterflies quiet. Our main aim is to make sure that you understand what is it that you need to do in order to be ready for the exams. In the prior session, we had generic questions about design thinking in general, design thinking as an application, how does it work in teams, how does it work for companies, how does it work for organizations, all that we covered. But this one is specifically towards exams. So Sukrat, when he's ready, we will talk about what is the format of the exam, what can you expect, and what do you need to do to prepare for the exam. Plus, we'll also repeat a few frequently asked questions from the past. Whenever we had these sessions, these are some of the standard questions. So even if you didn't get that question, you probably had that in your mind and you're wondering where to ask that. This is the right place. We will answer them. But the appeal to people, on this Zoom call is that you can ask us in case your query is not covered by whatever we have to cover here. Please feel free to put it in the chat, your question, your query, your concern, or you can unmute and let us know, and we'd be happy to field that question as well. People who are watching this live on YouTube, you can use the chat. Sukrat, Sham, and I monitor the YouTube chat as well. So rest assured, we will try to address those queries in there. If you're watching this as a recording, feel free to use the discussion forum. We still have some time between now and the exam, so we will definitely, get back to you as quickly as humanly as possible to answer your queries and concerns, suggestions, anything you might have, anything at all related to the exam. The NPTEL support is supremely good. They are monitoring these forums for exam-related questions like a hawk. I've seen them do it. In spite of the fact that they have to cover 500 odd courses, 500 odd exam, they still do a fantastic job, and they will continue to do that for you also. So anything at all, let us. Sukrat, are you ready to show the format? Well, seems not. Okay, there he is. There he is, back again. Yes, we can see your screen.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is the date that has been communicated so by far. It's the 26th of March of 23. There'll be two slots, I believe, in the morning and the afternoon. Uh, More details you'll get on uh, the admit card that you have, the hall ticket that you get with the NPTEL thing. So, what will be the format of the exam? Is the first question.
Sukrat, sorry to interrupt you again. Just go back one more slide. I believe if there is a spillover, if there are too many people in your exam center and NPTEL decides to have it, in your exam center, but on a different date, I believe you will be communicated that as well. There are some situations, has been in the past, we have faced where some centers were extraordinarily busy for some of our, for design thinking in particular. And we've had an extra day where we will accommodate you instead of sending you like 50 to 100 kilometers away to give you a center where it is not so full. We will try to accommodate. NPTEL teams work hard to accommodate your exam center preference. But however, if you've registered late and you've asked for a center, you may be given a different date. So check with the NPTEL support team or look at your hall ticket to see if it is the exact same date that we mentioned here. If not, just check with the support team or with Shyam and Sukrat or me, put it in the discussion forum. We'll be happy to direct you to the right place. So I just wanted to add that because this has been a thing in the past.
All right, sir. Thank you. So the next thing that we have on this is one of the questions that is very frequently asked is what will be the format of the exam. So as far as we have configured it, it is either going to be an MSQ or an MCQ. MCQ being a multiple choice question, and MSQ you will get multiple options to select from. So it will be check boxes instead of radio boxes. There will be multiple correct answers on which you will be graded on. So this is it. There is no written or subjective question as such. There will be no writing involved, and it will be pretty straightforward questions based on the content that you have watched on throughout the weeks, along with slight practical application questions. So that would be the format of the exam. So would you like to comment?
Yes. So multiple choice questions for people who know it, who don't know it, it'll have just one answer. So you have to pick the one best answer. If there are multiple correct answers according to us, we would have it in brackets, check all that apply. Okay. So it would have multiple correct answers. So Shyam, Sukrat and I have made sure that all these questions are correct. We have gone through multiple reviews to make sure that the questions are correct from our perspective. But still, we are three human beings doing a job. So if there are any errors and we pick up some errors, we will definitely address those later on also. So you're in good hands. So don't worry about that. So multiple select, just pay attention that when it says check all that apply, it means there are multiple. And I think you will be given a check box rather than a radio button. If you understand the difference, radio button is what looks circular. And if you click on it, it becomes highlighted. And multiple check boxes, it has a tick mark and you can select multiple correct answers. Okay, so that's the what I wanted to say. I think there are a couple of questions, Sukrat.
Yes, sir. So there is a question, sir, till when we receive our hall ticket? hall tickets will be given to you 1 to 2 weeks before the exam. They'll probably come on your email ID, as well as I think they're accessible from the portal. Another question we have here is, are MCQs more or MSQs? So I think there's a mixed bag of MSQs and MCQs and
Yeah.
we don't really know the exact number capping of how many of which is present in the exam, but as far as I think there are more MCQs, but can't really guarantee on the number.
Yeah, completely honestly, we don't remember the distribution exactly, but there are a healthy mix of multiple choice and multi-select options. So, well, the origin of the question is, will I have to know a lot of content, or will I have to know objective single point questions? If you have read through the transcripts, if you have watched the videos carefully, you've sort of understood the concepts, you're good to go mostly. But if you want that extra set of points, you will have case studies also, which we will cover soon, where we will show you some cases. We'll highlight some cases, and you will have to apply design thinking on those cases. And there again might be multiple choice and or multiple select also. So rest assured, if you are able to sort of get what the concepts are, our experience from the past, from feedback and finding out, empathizing with students from the past, we know that they're able to answer them quite confidently once they are familiar with the video content. Yeah, that's what I would like to add for that question from Lakshman.
All right, thank you, sir. I believe, yeah, somebody had their mic on. So the next thing,
did somebody want to ask a question? I saw somebody unmute themselves.
Yeah, that was, I think, by accident.
Oh, okay, by accident. All right, no worries. Yeah, you could raise your hands in case we miss you. Also, you can raise your hand so that we can get to you. You can. We will look at that also. Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead, Supra.
Okay, so the next question is there any negative marking in design thinking? Not really, not that we know of. There is no negative marking. There is just, you probably will get partial marks. Is there a concept of partial marks in this, Sham?
Yes, partial mark will be there. So if you select one correct option along with the wrong option, you'll get 0 marks for that particular question.
Yeah.
So please pay attention to the options before answering the multi-select questions.
Yes. So the tip here is that attempt all questions, but there's no negative per se. If the multiple select question is there, then make sure you're marking the correct ones only. What you are absolutely sure that they are correct, mark it only. Then we'll be able to give you partial marks. If there is a wrong one, then probably you've misunderstood the concept, is what our understanding will be. And so you may not be able to get credit for correct and incorrect option marked in the same question. So that's not negative marks per se, but you won't get partial marks. That's all there is. But we do have partial marks. Yes, absolutely. If there are 3 correct options and if you get 2 of them right, you get partial marks for that. That's okay.
All right. If you guys have any question regarding anything else, please let us know either in the chat box, or whoever is watching on YouTube, access the YouTube chat and we will find it. Moving on to the next question.
Before this, Sukrat, sorry, there is one more question in the YouTube chat which says, how and where to download admit card? I had filled the exam form. Shyam is our process expert. Shyam, what do they have to do?
So yeah, in the course page itself, you will have a announcement section. where you get an announcement stating that the hall ticket has been released,
Okay.
and you will be provided with a link. If you click on that link, you will be redirected to the login page. You have to sign in with your official email ID that you have used to register through the NPTEL course portal or examination, and then hall ticket will be visible. It will be available for download.
Okay. Thank you, Sham. So yes, so you will be informed via the announcements, and there are links and all that available, just like what Sham said. Thank you so much. Yeah, now we can go on to your vital question, Sukrat. I think this is the key why people are here.
So this question they are asking, sir, how should we prepare for the exam? I know my screen is not visible right now.
Okay.
But this is the question: how should we prepare for the exam?
Okay.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you should go ahead and take this.
Do you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So preparation for the exam. I think I started off at the start of this session itself. What to do to prepare. One of the first things that best practices that all your alumni students have done is go through the transcripts of the videos and look through what are the important concepts there. Okay. Particularly the lecture-based videos. So you would have seen that most of our assignments revolve around the assignment questions revolve around the lecture-based videos. So those transcripts are really helpful. However, to know how, particularly because we have case-based questions also, you want to know how it is applied. These concepts are applied in a real situation. So Siddharth and these videos, transcripts may also help you there. So how have they looked at customer journey map? How have they looked at multi-whys? How have they looked at applied conflict of interest or TRIZ principles or prototype? What does that mean? What is prototype in Siddharth and Co's case? All that you will be able to glance through and get to know these concepts. Okay, so that's the first thing you can do. Go through the transcripts first. My lectures, look through that. Then I would look at Siddharth and Co's transcripts. Then the next thing you can do is look through your assignments and on particularly where you've gone wrong, where you can look through some. I think some we have explanations written there, but you can find out what are the assignments and what are the questions that are generally asked in our assignments. Okay, the format will be very, very similar in the final exam as well. Okay, so that's the second part. Third part is that if you have access to the book, which Sukrat showcased in the first part of our, there is the book. That will be the last section of it. Some questions are based on snippets from the book itself. Not a whole lot, but it's there, definitely there. So that's something that we wanted to cover also. Okay, so these are few ways in which you can prepare for the exam. People have asked us, do you have old question papers? Do you have old assignments? I don't think we are allowed to share that, the old question papers. But I think old assignments you should be, internet is your best friend. You can look it up. I think you'll find those old assignments there. That will be some hints into how our newer assignments will also be, newer questions may also be like. Okay, so these are some of the things that we share with our learners. Okay, having said all of that, the experience in the past is that people were reasonably ready and found it to be not super challenging. This is what we've heard. These are all terms that I'm using from feedback from the past about the exam. So this is what we would like to tell you, that if you do these steps, you've followed it, you've been methodical about this course, you should find the exam also in the same spirit. You want something to add, Sukrat and Shyam? Something that I missed out? Okay. In the audience also, participants, if you are have some question, this is a good time to ask us also about preparation for the exam. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I think generally, as design thinking as a subject, it is supposed best learned and practiced if you do it physically by yourself. First-hand experience, gain the first-hand experience. But as long as theory is concerned, just watch the videos and read a little, you'll be good to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is no substitute for a real world experience, real project experience. So I know the time is short. From now until the exam, you can't do a full-fledged project. But if you think about application, even if you start off, that is, you're way better off than just looking through transcripts and reading it. So this is a design thinking is a very, very application oriented methodology. It is very, very action biased, as we call it. So if you learn from doing, nothing like it. That's what we prescribe in our course anyway. Okay, so that's going to be our definitely a go-to strategy is learn by doing.
Amen.
Okay. Is there a question? I guess no. All right. There are some questions in the YouTube chat. One of the question is my friend has only completed one assignment. Is it possible for him to get a certificate? So the rules in the on the NPTEL course page, which you will find when you try to log in or look for design thinking, it states that you have to have done at least 3 out of 4 assignments. Okay, so 3, the first, I think we had 1 and 1.1 or 1.1 and 1.2. The first week you have 2 assignments. We take an average of those. But if you have missed one, you're supposed to finish at least 3 of them. And there is a qualifying mark from that also. And again, those are given in your website itself. Let me just look through and let me tell you the exact numbers that are given there. So if you get, I think the assignment weightage has to be 10 out of 25. So 25% weightage goes to assignments. You should finish at least 3 and get a 10 marks for the 25. So all those 10 plus 10 plus 10, I think we have a total of 5, so 50 of them will be converted, and out of that we take best 3, and those will be converted to 25 marks. You should have made at least 10 for qualification. Okay, and on top of that, if you've done only one assignment, that's clearly not going to cut it. Even if you've got 10 on 10 on that assignment, since the fact that you missed the other 2 assignments, mandatory assignments, you're not going to be able to qualify for the certificate. For the exam score, the final exam score, it has to be more than, it's a total weightage of 75%. And we expect that you get at least 30%. So that's 30 here from the exams and 10% from the assignments. So you have to have a total aggregate of 40% at least to get a certificate. Okay, so if you're in a border, we will examine your case and probably see if if you've attempted all 3 and you're just about 9.75, for example, we may look into your case. Or in the same with final exam, if you're say 29 point something, we might look into that based on your assignment score or something like that. Okay, there is some algorithm to the whole thing. We will definitely look into that as well. But if you have not done 2 out of the 3 assignments, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to justify, because it just doesn't satisfy the criteria for the certificate. Okay, so that's the answer to the one on the YouTube one. The next one is announcement section in hall ticket yet to be released? Hasn't it been released yet? Shyam, back to you again. The person asks, has there been an announcement about hall tickets on the announcement section?
Sir, I think the learners will get to normally. I think they'll get an email whenever the things are ready. The hall tickets are ready.
Hall tickets are ready, is it? Okay. Okay,
No,
so
I'm saying they will get a notification whenever they are ready
okay.
and available. So there is very slight chance to miss out on it.
Okay.
If in case you skip on the email that you are supposed to get, it will be available on the portal itself, so they can access it there also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So one of the questions that might come, or like the kind of questions that we are trying to look for in the exam, could be case studies of this sort that you can see on the screen right now. So this, since we are very much into a lot of pop fiction, we tend to make questions like this. So anybody who knows Game of Thrones might know this name, but this is the kind of questions that we have made for you right now, for you to ponder on right now. So, sir, can you read the screen? Is it visible?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. So I'll just read out this question, and this is for all the learners to just participate, think about it, and let us know what to do.
One disclaimer: this is not appearing in your exam. This is just
It's
a
not
sample
appearing in your
question.
exam. Yeah.
Just in case you think this is from the exam question paper.
So the question goes like: Jamie Lannister is a 10-year-old boy who would like to prepare for his online exams. He develops persistent headaches during his online schooling. He approaches his father to help him out. His father reaches out to the community of parents and finds out that there are more such students who face the same problem. Now, you as a design thinker have finished the empathize, analyze, solve, and solve stages, and you are on the test stage. I hope the question is the setting of the question is legible to everybody. Yeah, and if in case not, I'll just let this be on the screen for 2 more seconds for people to read. Okay, moving on. So you find out that one vital piece of information that was missing in the case. What do you do now? So these are your 4 options, and let us know in the chat box on YouTube comments what should your answer be for this sort of for this case study when posed with this question. I can read out the options for those who are listening only. Go to empathize stage and find out where the customers live. Option B, the problem is universal, so you can just ignore this for now. C is design a survey and distribute it amongst the customers so that no time is wasted and we get the data we need. D, the location is not so important if the empathy stage is done so well. Location here being where the students are placed, where all of this is the setting is situated in. So we have 3 answers as C. Okay. So just to mess with you, we won't tell you what the correct answer is also. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Sir, would you like to go ahead after this?
Okay, so this will be a typical case that you will see where many a times you will be asked to think as a person who's applying design thinking, or you're helping somebody who needs that. And in spite of the quirky names and all that, the cases will be very, very relatable. Okay, because we know that we have a generic audience. I mean, we have a spread out audience here. Some are technically oriented, some are not, some are in management, some are working, some are not. So we understand that this is a varied group. We can't create a typical persona for this team here. So this group of students here, learners here. So we try to keep it as generic and relatable as possible. So that's what you will find, that and the cases will be directly related to the concepts that we have covered: empathize, analyze, solve, and test from the various weeks that you have watched the videos for. Okay, so that would be how, I mean, this is a typical example of a question, and this is how it's going, very similar to this. You will find on each stage. You will sometimes tell you, oh, empathize and analyze is done. What would you do in next? Will you do this or do that or do that or do this? Or sometimes you would say, oh, all three stages are done. What are you going to do now? So something like that. So it will all be about case related, application oriented kind of questions. Okay, so that's what I wanted to add, that this is just one style of it. Some would be where some stages will be done for you and we would ask you the next one, or it could be all of them also.
So just to make it a little more fun, let's assume that this question doesn't really have a correct answer. Bala sir, what option would you select?
Sorry, say that again. I have to choose the correct one.
Assume that there is no correct answer. Which one would you choose amongst the four? Most of the people say C. I am not in very much of a favor of C.
Okay. Yeah, so designing a survey and distributing, not one of my favorite options. Anyway, we have discussed that at length, that if you have to empathize with a customer, giving it to the customer and asking them to fill it is one of the easiest ways, but the least effective ways. Why do I say that? Because let's say if you go to a hospital to get yourself checked. Okay, instead of checking you, they give you a form to fill up and ask you what all problems you're facing, and then you're given medication based on whatever you've responded in that survey. Will you really be satisfied? Do you think the doctor really gets to know about you? Highly doubt that, right? Same story with empathize. Empathize is done face to face, human to human interaction. It takes a lot of time and effort. Sometimes they don't open up, sometimes they open up, sometimes they're saying something but mean something else. All those situations happen, and that by no means you will get in a survey. So think about that. Whether it is, say, a survey, if you were in the opposite situation, that is, you are the person who's being treated, then will you pick a survey? I'm not saying that's the right or wrong answer, but I doubt if that's the right answer. Okay, all right. So we are going to leave this as suspense. I don't think you're going to get an answer from us. You think about it. So we have really debated on many other questions also in this. So don't worry, it's not going to be a dubious one. Question papers are very, very. We've thought through it in real situation. Many of them are from real situation, name change. We have given that as questions. Okay, so that's the case base. We don't want to scare you saying, oh my God, he's giving us ambiguous. No, it's not. But these are the kind of thinking that has to go behind also. Design thinking is not just about doing the steps in the right order, but also think about why you're doing those steps. Okay, so keep thinking.
So
there are answers, lot of answers. Most of them C. Parinita says A and C. Lakshman says, but here the other options mention about the location of the customer, which has no say in them developing headaches in online class.
Good,
Very
great.
valid
You're
point.
thinking about it now. Very nice.
Very valid point.
Yes, these are the thoughts that have to come to you, and really have to think about it.
So, on one hand, this is absolutely correct that it's an online thing. What what does a location have to do with it? Agreed. From a distant point, sure, it is a very valid point that I can do it from Karnataka, I can do it from Punjab. I'm still getting that headache. Maybe it's the online classes, or maybe it's not. But we don't really know very certainly what is the reason for it. So, irrespective, see, the point behind this question is to emphasize on the point that design thinking in itself is a very non-linear process, and if you find something new, a new piece of information that you just discover, something that you just find out, it is not it'll be of advantage to you only if you stop, pause for a second, turn around and look back at whatever processes that you have conducted already, if you've empathized already, analyzed, and you've done a lot of multivise. Is that piece of information making a change in everything that you have done? Will it contribute in a better manner if in case you are sitting down to ideate more towards it? So all of that is something that you should think about if you find out something new about the subject or the customer that you are solving a problem for.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, yeah, I think that were all the questions there were in the presentation.
Yeah.
So I'm not having access to the YouTube chat. If you can pull out any new questions that have come up.
No, that was pretty much it. There was questions around hall ticket. We've answered that, and he says, "Thank you so much. I was worried about it." So that's what he says. And I said, in case you don't, get the link to your hall ticket even closer to the exam, I think you should reach out to NPTEL support or drop us a line on the discussion forum, and we'll get on the case as quickly as we can. Okay, so we'll be monitoring your discussion forum also. I think that was pretty much it from the discussion. I'm sorry, YouTube chat as well. Yeah, so one last thing I wanted to cover in this, it's not related to exam, but we're having we're going to have a workshop, a 2-day online workshop. I know we had a 4-day initially, but logistics dictates us that we do it in online mode. That's preferred for many people. We could see we're doing it online, and we're going to do it on if I'm not wrong, somewhere in April. Wait, I think you should have received an email also. Is it April 6th? No, 5th and 6th, is it? Or 6th and 7th? 6th and 7th, I think. April 6th and 7th. Am I right?
Yes, sir, I think so.
Yes, okay. So it is April 6th and 7th. We'll have our workshop. And if you have not registered for it, we would highly recommend you register for it. And that's learning by doing in action. We will definitely do that. Okay, so that's what is the our promise, that we will give you the learning by doing learning experience. So that's what it's going to be, 6th and 7th. I think the capacity is 40 for that online workshop, not because the online mode cannot accommodate more people, but the fact that the three of us can handle only up to 40 people, because there will be so many teams for that. Parinita I think has a question. Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Sir, I have many questions actually.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. So firstly, how to register for this workshop? Are we gonna get any mail regarding that?
Okay. I am also registered as a student of this course just to see from what's happening from your perspective. And I did get emails about the workshop a few weeks ago, I think. Let me.
I'll have them resend
Okay.
the
Can you please
invitation again.
resend it if possible?
Can you post
Sure.
it somewhere, Sukrat?
I'll
If
have to get
possible, in
a
this
valid
chat
link.
itself. Sukrat and Shyam will
Yeah,
make sure that you get that link in this chat itself. We'll post
Okay.
it
And
so that you
sir,
can register for that.
okay.
If you find that it is full, let us know on the discussion forum
Sir,
that
these
because they have an upper limit. Sorry, what were you saying?
yeah, I was saying these workshop will be post exam, right? After the exam, because in Mumbai it's
yeah.
showing around 26. The date is 26th, right?
So 26th of March is when the exam is going to take place.
Yes.
6th and 7th of April is when we're planning to do this online workshop.
Yes.
It will be a 2-day workshop and online, so like there is no physical foundation to it. You can log in from your home or office, but it will be advisable that you do it from a place where you can experiment around, roam around, and to talk a lot with people and your teammates. So just keep yourself free on 6th and 7th, and I shall send you the registration link to it very, very soon. I'm trying to find it right now.
Yes, sir. And sir, means our marks are based on these two things. We have to submit the assignments and plus whatever we perform in the exam. So apart from that, few of the questions sir asked. So do we need to send it, or how should we supposed to send it? The answers related to it.
Which questions?
In the online lectures, few of the means problems, sir. Uh, they mentioned, for example, in the analysis lecture, 3 questions were being asked. So do we need to like solve it and send it? So how should we send it?
Okay, I'll take that, Sukrat. Those are meant as practice, Parinita. So those are meant as practice for you. We don't expect answers from you, but I'm happy to discuss that if you have any analysis and solutions to those 3 problems: the
Uh,
teacher, the chocolate, and that airline
after
landing,
the
right?
exam, because
Yeah, yeah.
in Mumbai it's
Yeah.
showing around 26. The date is 26th, right?
So 26th
Yeah, yeah.
is when the
Yeah,
exam.
that's correct. 26 is the exam, yes.
Then 6th and 7th of April is when
Then
we
I think this is a YouTube thing. Somebody is playing YouTube.
Oh, okay. It's a repeat, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Please mute your YouTube feed. Okay. So, yeah. It's like what we answered this already. Okay. So, to answer Parinita's question, those 3 questions are meant as practice for you to think about how to look at problems from a conflict perspective and to use triggers, inventive principles to generate ideas, just to give you some practice. But if you have some interesting solutions and you want to share them, you can use the discussion forum and we'll be happy to look at it, saying, oh, that's a nice solution, that's a nice analysis. And it'll also serve as an example for other learners to look at your analysis and solutions as well. It's not mandatory for you to send it to us, if that's what your question was.
Okay, because means you have given one example as well. One person who doesn't like touching, but the tailor needs to like take his mark.
Yeah.
So for that, you came up with different solutions. So
Nice.
so I just means through experience I got one solution. The tailor can use his already stitched cloth.
Of
Usually tailor
course.
asks for it nowadays.
Yes, of course. See, the idea here, Parinita, nice creative solution. The idea is for us. So one is that you will come up with different solutions. But the key is to figure out what is the conflict. And the more you spend time with the customer, suppose you had spent time with Porthos, you would find not only that he doesn't want to be touched, he's also a food lover. He is also a he likes to party around, and all those quirks will come up, and then you can really generate a solution specifically for a persona like Porthos. So the key in that one is to identify the conflict, but also to understand our customer better. The more you understand the customers better, the more conflicts you will get, and your solution is more towards that. Okay, so that was the origin of that Porthos story being included in that, to give you lots of insights into how is it that we have to take or look at a customer situation and generate solution. But anyway, interesting solution. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. And secondly, means whenever you people ask any question or any case study arises, na, so through me, it's like firstly I go with means empathize stage only, but I go more like with my experience. Ki what would I have faced in if I'll go means I'll be there in this situation, or what could I face like ki, now you have asked the question ki it's becoming a headache for students. So it's
Okay.
more like so when in my case, if I'm traveling and if I have to see the screen, so it becomes a headache for me as well.
Got it.
So like watching the screen, so now like there is a concept of a black screen which is more eye friendly, or
Right.
you can use the specs kind of a thing which is like screen friendly something.
Correct.
So those are 2-3 things which I came up with.
Very nice, very nice, very creative solutions all the same. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Personal experiences definitely come in handy in empathize. So we are looking at whenever we come across a case, the first source of knowledge that we have is our own experience. Okay. But I'll give you another warning also, is that if you look at Professor Arnold's case, what if they're aliens from Arcturus 4? We have no experience there. The aliens are very, very different. Their atmosphere is different, their conditions are different, everything else is different. So what would you do? You would have to go visit Arcturus 4, talk to Methanians, find out, observe them, and if they don't speak your language, you have to really get those. That's what we emphasize in empathize. Empathize is about not only, of course, your experiences are there with you, so you're able to look at it from their perspective using your own experience. Added to that, when you actually observe other customers, other people from a completely different setting, apart from yours, you will get various insights, not only your own, but definitely different insights. And that's what we're trying to emphasize in that. Great questions. Thank you so much, Parinita. Really
Yes,
nice.
and so I have one more thing to say.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
sorry, I'm like just going on, but
We will just hang on to that. KG Krishna has been wanting to ask us something. Once we are done with that, we'll get back to you, Parinita. Is that okay?
okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Krishna.
Hello, sir. See, my name is Krishna. Actually, I'm a retired professor come IT professional.
Nice to meet you, sir.
I have been hearing the word design thinking for the last decade or so extensively. And before that, I was actually a TRIZ enthusiast.
Sorry, can you repeat that? There is some interference from somewhere.
Yeah. See, I have been hearing the topic of design thinking, and I became curious and I registered. But before that, I was a TRIZ enthusiast. Actually, I know about you as a TRIZ pioneer in India. I know the TRIZ you started in Bengaluru.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I read a lot about TRIZ books and all that.
Okay.
So actually, I read books of Tom Kelly, and recently I have attended your full course. Nice. And one thing that comes to my mind is that when I gone through the course and read the books, for me, frankly, it appears more of a problem discovery. This design thinking is more a problem discovery rather than a solution centric. Whereas it emphasizes a lot on solutioning, how to come out with ideas and all that.
Right.
So for example, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and the books all emphasize, as you have said, empathy, ethnography. These are the two dominant themes. But these are more of attitudes and personality traits of a design thinker. But when it comes to coming out with the solutions, I feel that TRIZ actually has a lot role to play.
Yes.
I wonder that if we can merge these two, it would be a great combination. But today I find that, more, I don't know, I use the right word. It appears to me more of a shallow in terms of, creative thinking. Actually, it says what is required of creative thinking, but how to solve is not being emphasized. How to come out with solutions is not much emphasized. Okay, this is my personal observations. Thank you.
Super. Thank you so much, Mr. Krishna. This is Professor Krishna. This is very nice, very interesting observation. I'll tell you my own personal experience with the methodology of design thinking is that when I did it, I found that you're right, absolutely right, that we have a lot of emphasis on discovery, getting to know the customer, analyzing it, and getting to know the problem in detail rather than just at a shallow level. So the original design thinking, as I discovered it, was a lot of it depended and relied on the motivation of the design thinker, on the passion that the design thinker brought in. Okay, so definitely I don't take anything away from that methodology. It's amazing. But I felt that the same thing that you're talking about, I felt that there was something missing because what if the problem is not analyzed? What you see is not what you get in a problem. What if the customer is leading you to paths that probably is not the right path to go? How will you ever know that? Okay. And what if you're stuck for solutions? We have our own creativity. Yes, I agree. But what if we get the same routine solutions over and over again, no wow factor whatsoever? And I've been in that situation myself when I tried to solve problems. So I felt that, and you rightly pointed out, in my book also I have emphasized that we need to use the construct of TRIZ, which is a well-oiled machinery. So for people who have watched my videos in solve stage, I do introduce the idea of TRIZ being inside design thinking. And so that's also part of my book, where I talk about using the constructs of design thinking, two of them. One of them is the conflict of interest itself. So it's embedded in design thinking. You think of problems not as a problem itself, but as a conflict between the user, what the user wants or the customer wants, and what the service provider or the manufacturer can give. So it's a deep-rooted problem rather than at a very, very, they want blue color, let's give them blue color. No, it's not about the blue color. They want variety. They want this unsaid need which needs to be there. And I'm not able to give that. So what is the manufacturing level problem? What is the service provider level problem? Right? If I'm a teacher, what is at my teaching level, what is the problem? So we look at it from that perspective in analysis. And that's from the TRIZ toolkit. The second part of it is we are blessed with creative skills. In a team of 3 or 4, we are able to get some really good quality ideas. But if we are stuck, TRIZ again has something called inventive principles, of which I've covered 3 of them in this course itself. And there are much, much more. If people are interested, you can look it up. There are several people who have shared resources. I have done that in the past also. You can use those to your advantage and generate a lot more ideas. Okay. Now, what is often talked about in the TRIZ world is that you generate a lot of ideas immediately. You don't know what the problem is. But if you spend a lot of time in problems, you miss out on what creative ideas can come over. So in my attempt in this course, I have tried to balance this that you spend enough time on the problem so that you know about the problem and the customer, but also on the solve where you can generate ideas. So that's, as far as I can see, we have attempted that in this course also, and it's also described in a little more detail in my book on karmic design thinking. So that's my trial to answer this. A very, very interesting observation and thoughts. Thank you so much, Professor Krishna, for that.
Thank you, sir. In fact, as you said, that in design thinking, apart from ethnography, that prototyping is a key thing, right? Iterative prototyping.
Yes.
Actually, recently, the Telangana government has started T-Works, which is a large prototyping center. In fact, I immediately connected to this one. Those who are actually in the design thinking, maybe those of you who are in the Hyderabad area, it's a very beautiful center. Anything can be made, all kinds of NC machines, 3D printers, punching, whatever you can imagine. It's a dream come true for a design thinker.
Nice. Sir, we'll be happy if you can share those resources on the discussion forum in the NPTEL Design Thinking discussion forum, because this is a subset of people who are registered for the course. We will definitely benefit from that. That's a very, very useful piece of information.
Actually, it is like a government of Telangana's initiative in Hyderabad. You can go to Google and see. It's a very beautiful, first of its kind in India. Comprehensive 4-floor prototyping center.
Great to know that, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that. We appreciate your thoughts around this. Thanks a lot. And Sukrat, I think we're out of time right now. It's 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for all participants on Zoom for such interesting questions, as well as addressing your concerns. We have done tried to do our best in addressing the exam queries, as well as try to answer and understand your thoughts around design thinking the exam itself. So all the best for your exams, and please do let us know if you have anything at all that we can answer at all around this. Thanks, Shyam and Sukrat, for your help with putting together this live session, and thanks to the NPTEL for supporting us.
So there is somebody who is really...
Okay, so officially we're done with this live session. I think we can take that last question from Zoha Nargund, and then we can wrap this up. Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, we have to go through all the videos which is present in Swayam app, sir, for examination.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. So one of the ways in which your past students, and we covered this in the earlier part of this live session, was that if you missed it, you can also look at the recording on YouTube when it becomes live. So don't worry. I think we'll share the link with you. Right here, we have talked about exactly this. Okay, I'm going to share this with you, Zoha.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so look at our response to this. But a very, very quick response to what you asked is the transcripts are there to your advantage. Use them. Okay, so if you don't have the time to watch all those videos again before the exam, you can use the transcripts to read through and find out what is it that we have talked about in the course. I would recommend starting with my lectures transcripts, and then that would be useful for the assignment based questions, the questions which are objective, let's say. And for case based questions, you can use the transcripts from Siddharth and Co.'s application videos as well. So that's where I would do. We also have some questions around from the book as well. So I'm not, this shouldn't come as a surprise to you. There are some questions which are not part of the videos, but are there in the book, described in the book, Karmic Design Thinking, which is the prescribed textbook for this course anyway. Okay. So hopefully that answers your query, Zoha, and all the best for your exams, folks. Rest assured, we are there to help you till their exam date. So keep us in the loop if you have any questions or queries. All the best and see you around. Thanks, Sukrat and Sham. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks all for being a part of this. We'll see you and all the best for the exam. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.